Most of us imagine freedom is the ability to do whatever we please. But that's not really freedom. Freedom is something far higher than that and far more powerful. If we want to just be able to do what we like, what is driving that like? Something is driving it. And if something is driving it, or driving us, we're not free. We're being driven by something. Freedom is quite different. Freedom is having nothing driving us. Freedom is just being. Freedom is just being ourselves, without any compulsion, without anything forcing us in any direction. Freedom is living without being dictated to. Freedom is the ability to see life as it is, without all the influences and preconditions and impressions which influence what we're seeing. Two people with two different backgrounds will see a similar event or see the same event absolutely differently. A criminal seeing a policeman coming down the road might think of being caught. Somebody in serious need seeing a policeman coming down the road might think there's some possible help. It's exactly the same situation, but viewed totally differently from the different backgrounds. And the whole of life is like that. We are dictated to by our past impressions. And through those past impressions, we interpret life. Freedom is being free from those past impressions so that we can actually see what's going on, see what's in front of us, see how things are really unfolding. Our freedom, especially in this digital age, is curtailed by all the suggestions and impressions that are put in our minds. Our freedom is suppressed. Our outlook on life is altered by all the impressions that are put in our minds. When they say we live in a digital prison, we really do. For most people, it's very difficult to operate outside the digital bubble they live in. Freedom is the awareness and consciousness to see for yourself. The way to freedom is to still our minds, so much so that all these impressions aren't just welling to the surface and directing our attention and telling us what is. Authorities generally keep the population in line with impressions of consequences for disobeying them or thinking differently. Authorities might be government, might be religious, might just be social pressure, but they all work the same way. If you're free of those impressions coming in and altering your perception, then you have freedom. You have the freedom to actually see what is what and to take appropriate action without your perception being modified by impressions. What a sin is to one group is a commendable action to another. What's wrong for some people is right for others. It depends on the agenda of the person giving the impressions. Advertising, politics, religion, all work on inserting impressions. And those are on top of the impressions you've already had, that you've absorbed all through your life. Your idea of right or wrong is generally what's been impressed upon you as right or wrong. What you can do is what you've been programmed to believe is possible. It's an impression. Freedom is to have a still mind. So none of those things are directing your perception. None of them are forming your perception or directing your attention to something which is going to alter the picture that you see in front of you. If you understand how things work, how these impressions are put into you, what they put into you for, you're a huge step ahead in discarding them and seeing for yourself. Freedom is being free of being dictated to by impressions or outside forces. And the way to have that freedom, or the way to that freedom, is to still your mind. So you're not looking at things with the intellect, but with the consciousness, so that you can actually see what is happening in front of you, instead of being told what is happening in front of you. Having freedom isn't a battle like a war. Freedom is found inside you. Freedom so that the outside and the outside impressions and all the residue impressions inside you are set aside so that you can clearly see what's going on. If you see what looks like a danger, but your mind is still, your attention is on whatever it is, and you're conscious, you'll see what it is. It might be different to what you're told. Patriotism, or devotion, or any of those sort of things are generally the result of some impression in your mind altering your perception. If your mind is still, your consciousness is clear, then you can put your attention into whatever it is with clarity, with purpose. You can direct your attention to where it should go. Not the moment you put your attention out in the world is it driven in every direction by everybody who has an interest in controlling you. If your mind is still, you have control over your attention. And control over your attention is freedom. You can gain control over your attention by stilling your mind, finding some exercise, some form of meditation maybe, that will still your mind, will reduce the excitement in it, so it becomes still and clear. It takes a little practice, but soon, or in due course, depending, you'll see the world as it is, and not as you've been told it is. And when you see it as it is, you have freedom. You can now act with clarity and do what is necessary for your life to be free.